thank you, Mike, once again for providing The Walking Dead. Issue 155, and I also want to make a shout out. Hopefully he's watching this video. I don't know if he's a Walking Dead fan or not. Shout out to my big homie subscriber, Jimmy, Slippin' Jimmy. Hey man, it was great to meet you. It was great to thank you for supporting the channel. Actually, met somebody who was actually a local who watches the video, so that was really cool. And I never met this guy before. Have we met before? We never met before. Anyway, let's get on to it. The Walking Dead issue 155. Now, this issue wasn't extravagant, but it was good enough for me to really enjoy it. It was good enough for me to see where things might be going. I think I'll do a prediction video for the next issue. So what I loved was Negan. I love me some Negan. I love me some Negan. I love me some Negan. But I also love me some Dwight in this issue. Now with Negan, he's talking to Alpha. He's really I felt like he was feeling out Alpha. I felt like he was feeling out where she stands and how she is. And Alpha doesn't kill him right away. I think she's interested and intrigued what Negan has to say, especially, she kind of knows his motive a little bit. And with Negan, he's like, I'm sorry, love is a big fucking word. I'm not saying, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I never fucking met a girl like you. I mean, the bald head is doing it for me, baby. Like, it was pretty funny with Negan and his conversation with Alpha, especially when Negan almost got killed a couple of times, just like by disrespecting a little bit or just really putting down Alpha. But Alpha I think that's where I thought she was intrigued. She's like, okay, this guy, he's all this, but there's a little bit of something more to him. And he says that, like, I think I'm not afraid of death. At one point, he's like, oh, if you're going to kill me, just kill me already. And Alpha's like, you're really not afraid of death, are you? He's like, fuck no. Like, I was in prison for a couple of years. I am not afraid of death at this point. This is so shitty out here. But I love the fact that, like, listen, I'm here because I think I can offer you a little something. I think I can offer you some more. So I think that he is joining alliances with Alpha, and I think they're going to go after Rick, Rick and company. This is a war. We're heading to another war, but I think this war, it's going to be super damaging, especially I think a lot of lives that we know, a lot of the popular characters are going to die in this war, especially because the Whispers, if you have Alpha and the Whispers, which I think the Whispers are the most deadliest group to be on there. I mean, we saw Michonne in this issue just really, she was holding her own against the Whispers, but there was a lot of them. And at one point she was on the ground. She was about to get fucked up. But luckily Dwight was there to help her and save her and his crew. So, I mean, the Whispers are no joke. I think the Whispers are the most deadliest group that we've seen in the Walking Dead comic. And I think if you have Negan, who is just this wild card craziness chaotic mess coming into with the Alpha and the Whispers and helping them out, I mean, you're gonna have some crazy ass deaths upcoming. I really do think Rick will bite. I think he'll die. So like I said, Dwight does rescue Michonne. Michonne gets Aaron to the hilltop where Maggie is. I think that he goes back to the hilltop. I think Maggie's at the hilltop. I can't really remember a couple issues back, but he gets to where Maggie is. Aaron's dying, he's barely holding on here. You see Dwight going after the rest of the Whispers. He said, fuck it. They already know we're here. This is war. This is an act of war. Let's get on them. Let's jump on it. Jump on it. Like that. You know what I mean? We also see Carl and Lydia just, in the bed. That was kind of a weird scene when they were in the bed and, like, he's like, oh, you're just like, how long were you watching me? Like, is that supposed to imply something later on? Is that supposed to mean something? Or is this just like a simple moment where, like, yeah, sometimes somebody will be awake and be like saying, damn, you fine. Like that. I don't know. So that was very interesting. Other than that, though, it's really, I think this chapter was really a grasp of, like, the idea of what might be happening next chapter, especially with I love Rick and I love Andrea, my favorite couple. Andrea, my favorite character in the Walking Dead comic. So it was so interesting to see these two talking and how Andrea was kind of pissed at Rick, like, look what you're leading them to think. You're thinking like Negan. And I was like, fuck, she should say, like, and Rick going like, speaking of Negan, yeah. So I think Andrea will die in this war, which I don't want it to happen. I think Rick will die later on in the war as well. I think the war is going to last a little bit. I think this war is just going to be insane, especially because you have the horde of zombies that the Whisperers have. You have this army that Rick is trying to achieve, and you have Eugene still working on maybe getting reinforcements. You never know. There might be reinforcements coming along the way, but I thought this chapter was a great chapter. I thought this was a great chapter to know if we were curious to see where this is headed. This is a great chapter to see where we might be heading after these certain events that's happening right now. We know that Michonne's okay. We don't know if Aaron's going to be okay. We know Dwight's on the move, so where he stands, and we kind of get a glimpse of what Negan is going to do in the future. So that's why this was a good chapter overall, to know the little events that's gonna maybe occur. And especially I do like, Negan's the art style of Negan. There's one panel where Negan's talking to Alpha, and Alpha has like a double chin going, so I thought that was kind of funny, and it just makes you realize like how real, because that's what it is, man. I mean, Barbara Kirkman and his team, they know that, like, listen, this is The Walking Dead. Things, that you get double chins and all that stuff, it's not all pretty people in here. It's actually, just looking, I remember I was reading it, and I'm just like looking at Dwight, and you have some panels with just his good side of his face. Then you have some panels with just his eye, and it's just like, damn, dude, you look like Two-Face. And I actually like the design. I like the graphicness that it's really presenting. That's what I like about it. I really enjoy a lot of like in your face kind of moments. I mean, of course we can go to the Glenn moment, but just subtle moments like that where you're like, you kind of, when you're reading it, you're like, oh, you kind of appreciate it more. You're like, Dwight is a scarred, disfigured man. He got scarred and disfigured because of Negan. And in the show, they don't go that far. And you got to appreciate the comics where they can go that far. So overall, I did enjoy it. So I want to thank you guys for listening. I am Dan Megadad's son. Like I said, I want to thank Walking Dead Mike for providing the comment. Congratulations, Mike. He just graduated. That's amazing, bro. A lot of people go off to college, or they go off to school and they don't finish it, and you finished it, and I want to dedicate this review and chapter to you, buddy. And I can't wait for you to come down here and we could party on, Garth. Party on, Garth. We can have a drink together, because, man, you're a brother to me, and it's crazy how I say that you're like a brother to me, and I met you on YouTube. So I want to thank you, and I want to thank Jimmy. I mean, that's really cool to see a fan to really come up to me and say, hey, man, I like your videos, I like your opinions, really awesome. And I got my shirt there. You know what I'm saying? And then I want to also say, hey, Super Nerd 81, thank you for just everything, man. Like, I was cruising around with him today, and we're checking out some pops and all that stuff. So I want to thank all those people, and of course I have a lot more other people to thank, but I want to thank those people today, so in this review. So thank you guys for listening to Dad Making a Son. You can always check out all my other videos on my YouTube channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like the video if you like it, and comment below. Love to hear your guys' thoughts on The Walking Dead 155. Until next time, I will have a prediction video of the next chapter coming up maybe tomorrow or on Sunday, so I can't wait to have that up, because I'm going to be talking more Game of Thrones, and I'm going to be talking more Walking Dead, because I love both those shows, and I love both those I love both of them, just the overall, I love the franchises. So thank you guys. I'm Dad Megadad's son. I'm out of here. Until next time.